Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for June 14th. We're currently looking at the US Japanese yen pair. This particular pair, we're looking for it to move potentially as high as 99.15, possibly as low as 96.74. Look for some resistance around 98.85 and look for some support around 98.11. Now, this particular pair did close up on Friday. However, it did create an inside bar. Look for a breakout to the upside, but be wary of this resistance level that was created during this session and this session. Now, switching over to the Euro USD pair, this particular pair did close down on Friday. We are looking for this pair to continue moving sideways. Bias is still sideways. We're looking for it to potentially move as high as 142.32. Possibly as low as 138.39. Look for some resistance around 140.52 and look for some support around 139.32 in this particular pair. Now, switching over to the pound US dollar pair. This particular pair closed down on Friday's session. It did break Thursday's low just by a little bit. We, if you notice, tagged previous resistance with these two with this session and tagged it with Thursday and Friday's session. I do anticipate this pair moving lower, although the bias is still sideways currently. We're looking for this pair to potentially move as high as 167.30, possibly as low as 162.06. Look for some resistance around 165.90 and look for some support around 163.24. Now, switching over to the US Swiss. This particular pair closed up during Friday's session. We are looking for this pair to continue moving sideways and have a bias that is sideways as well. Look for this pair to potentially go as high as 109.29 and possibly as low as 106.05. Look for some resistance around 10840 and look for some support around 10760. Now, what am I looking for during this next session? Well, actually, let's get into that in just a minute. Looking forward, as far as news announcements, we have the Japanese yen releasing their target rate at 12 a.m. on Monday, coming up in the next few hours. That's Eastern time. Consensus is they're going to hold at 0.10%. I see no reason for that to change. Most likely it will have very little effect on the market due to that. Now, the U.S. has their net long-term TIC flows for April being released at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Consensus is they've dropped from 55.8 billion down to 52.9 billion. This basically lets us know how much investment is coming into the U.S. from foreign investors, and this is a number that we need to watch. It's definitely negative news if this number is dropping, at least for the U.S. dollar. Now, the New Zealand dollar has their non-residence bond holdings for May being released at 11 p.m. Eastern time. No consensus on this one. Previous was 71.6%. Now, what am I looking for during this next session? It's actually on the pound. If you notice, we have a swing trade setup that was created Friday. We have a high here, and we have two lower highs before it and after it. And we have a higher low than the bar before it and after it. So we get the swing trade effect. If you draw your trend line here, looking for a breakout at this point, looking to tag this previous support that was created during this session and previous resistance, which was created during this session, previous resistance turning into support now. If you look at that, that's about 140 pips worth of movement down to that point. Maybe a little bit less, around 130, 140 pips on that particular move. So draw your trend line and look for a breakout to the downside during this next session. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.